It's almost Gen Con again, 2025 Gen Con. I've got my Gen Con t-shirt from a few years ago, and we are going to talk about our anticipated Gen Con games of 2025. And hi everyone, it's Stella.
And Tarrant.
I will go there on my own. Unfortunately, Tarrant's not going to make it again. Hopefully next year, Tarrant.
So Stella is the one who does most of the conventions on our behalf.
Yes.
So I will hold the home front once again.
Okay, fine. All right, so we're going to split this video into two big sections, as usual with UKGE. First one is the game that we have not played, the anticipated games that we're going to either demo, get, or just peek at Gen Con. And the games that we have played and available to demo or buy, and so on at Gen Con, right?
Right.
So first, the 10 anticipated games. We are not going to mention them in any order, so just some random orders. The first one is called Ruins by John D. Clare.
Yes, this is the next in the long iteration of card crafting games from John D. Clare. Of course, beginning with Mystic Vale, and then with others including Edge of Darkness and Unstoppable. This one is a card shedding game.
Yes.
So you'll be upgrading cards to create combos which you can then use to shed. Sounds like it has a very similar sort of vibe to what Spin Panda has offered in recent years. Spin Panda, you're spinning cards to upgrade them. This one, you'll have even more flexibility to upgrade them.
And in this game, you basically uncover some ruins and finding treasure. But I feel like the different John D. Clare games, although have the same vibe, they're still unique to each other.
They certainly are. It's a case of using the crafting mechanism that he's very much developed and finding new ways to use them.
So I can't wait to have a look. Maybe I'll grab a copy. Game number 2 is an expansion. So a Rebel Princess Deluxe Edition with the Happily Never After expansion.
Yes, so this was a trick-taking game where you're trying to avoid taking tricks. This one came out originally a couple of years ago, and then Bezier did their version last year, I do believe. And it's a modern take on Microsoft Hearts.
Yes.
Fundamentally. And this new expansion is going to add some new princesses and some new round cards, just some new effects to throw into the chaos and excitement.
So more challenges for not getting married. Happily Never After. The third game is called Wine Cellar. So this is a re-implementation of another game called Wine Cellar. And this, I don't know, there's something about game about wine or wine making. Although I'm not actually drinking wine in any capacity, but I don't know, there's something about it. So
there is something very nostalgic and, I don't know, classy feeling about it.
Yes.
So this is a bidding and essentially a tableau building, a sequence tableau building type of game. You're trying to get the best wine bottles and arrange them in a certain way so that the arrangement will score points, the icons on them will score points. So that typical sort of thing of building up a set of cards and overlaying a couple of different ways of scoring. And
selling the wines to customers. Game number 4 is called Propolis by Flatout Games. So the people who brought it Cascadia, those pretty games and so on.
Yep, so this is a small box worker placement game. Everyone is playing the roles of bees. And you'll be heading out, you'll be placing workers to go and get pollen as resources so you can build up your hive. And then there are some area majority dominance types of mechanisms where the more you are placed in a certain area or the better the build-up of your hive, the more resources you'll get. So a big engine will roll through there.
I love the bee theme as well. I mean, Stonemeyer brought out another bee theme game.
Yep, and there was Honeybuzz and there was Bees with the Zs. So there have been a few bee games recently.
I just love the theme of bees as well. Like speaking about that's wine before and now bees. And while your turn, you like train games. And the next one is Lightning Train by Direwolf.
Yes, so this is a bag building game where you'll be using chips that you take into a bag to then build up networks and deliveries on a map.
Think Orlean, Altiplano.
but with trains instead of llamas.
So you do like that sort of, you do like train. I mean, either way, but the back building, come on. And Direwolf has been bringing out great games like Dune Imperium, Clank, and a few others.
Yes, strong pedigree there.
Yeah. Game number 6 is Dirt and Dust by Albi. Now, this company brought out 3 tea garden at Essen, and the queue just won't stop, and then just sold out, just like that.
Yes.
The designer is Peter Kaslava, who co-designed Kutna Horater.
Yes, which is a game I did enjoy. So this is a rally driving themed game. So there have been a couple of those in the past few years with Rallyman and things like that.
Deck building.
But this one involves deck building and dice placement as you try to manage the racing within the rally cars.
I like racing games, so I am keen to try this one. I've been enjoying different, like from Flamme Rouge to Mississippi Queen to Race for El Dorado and a few others.
Yes, so it'll be interesting to see how they use the deck building mechanism here. Obviously, that is one that Flamme Rouge used in a racing context, so looking forward to it.
Game number 7 is Severton by the same publisher, Albi.
Yes, this is the newest design from Vlada Khatil with art by Miguel Coimbra. So it's been a while since Vlada has released a game.
And this is a cooperative game, and this is possibly demoed at Gen Con with Essen is the release date.
Yes, there's actually not very much out there about this game at the moment. We know it's cooperative, and it's very heavily indicated that it's got an importance on achieving things cooperatively with a lot of movement puzzle involved.
Yeah.
It's based on an old Czech graphic novel comic book.
Yeah, it's in the video, it looks like it's got some sort of like matching or color matching cards that you play. So can't wait to at least try to demo. The next game is The Pig Team by Madagar. Designer is Scott Elms. This is another cooperative game, Taryn.
Yes, this is a cooperative puzzly type of game. You're in the pig team. It's in a mountain. Your wildlife ranges on a mountain. And it's a staged cooperative game. So there's several different... You go through and you add more levels of complexity each time you play. And the game involves a reverse drafting mechanism. So you're going to be assigning cards to the other players to give them the icons they need to then go and achieve all of the different goals.
It sounds very exciting. It's like cooperative with reverse drafting. And this is going to be hopefully demoed at Gen Con with Essen release. Actually, is the plan. Game number 9 is A Space Odyssey, the board game. So this is by Phil Walker Harding, and it says the board game, so it is not originally a board game.
No, it is originally a book and movie written and released at about the same time. And the focus here is on the third and most famous part of the movie, and probably the most exciting part of it. It's a one versus many, so you got one person playing as Hal, refusing to open pod bay doors and all that sort of thing. And the other players are trying to disable Hal before Hal... I forget what Hal was doing in the movie, but he didn't want them to get to where they got. So
yeah, well, this is another game with one versus many. We've seen a few coming up. Like I enjoy one versus many. There's a few actually coming out this year as well. The Terrascape, well, it was last year, and there was some other ones as well, which was prototype.
Yes. And you can always be pretty sure that when Phil Walker Harding is involved, it will be at a good entry level, but still with a lot of interesting things to think about. So looking forward to seeing that in a one versus many context.
Speaking about Phil Walker Harding, we're going to see him at PlayCon soon. Yay. Maybe I should probably poke him. Tell me more about this game. And game number 10 is The Game Makers. Now, I've actually booked this to demo. It's from Bezier Games, and I am hopefully will be playing with Ben Rosset, which is the designer of The Search for Planet X and so on.
Yes, so this is a game about manufacturing games.
Wow.
You'll be attempting to. It's got a rondel action selection mechanism, and you'll be using it to turn a factory into a board game factory and to manufacture board games.
Because your long-lost relative has passed away and inherit you the factory. I don't know where they are. Maybe they're in China. Maybe they're in Australia. Who knows?
Yes, well, that's a world context can add the global trade war mechanism to it. Anyhow.
And they are like the real-life game like Terraforming Mars, Ark Nova, Wingspan, Juniperium, and so on.
Yes, and it's been a while since we've seen that. I was reflecting back. It's probably not since the Essen 13 game.
Right.
That you would have seen all games from all sorts of publishers together as components within another game.
Yeah, and it's really cute. Like the decision in the game as well is like you need to use Punchboard, for example, to expand the assembly line or gain further discount for manufacturing. And it has that tabletop Inc. theme where games about making board games. And this is like about manufacturing board games. It's more like specific on manufacturing. Very, niche on that. The next 5 games are the games that we've either demo or see or play.
But which have Gen Con releases.
Yes, or some sort of Gen Con demo or release. So the first one is Distill Cocktails. So this is the expansion of the well-known game, successfully crowdfunded Distill. They're having the first with cocktails. I demoed it a few rounds at UKGE, and again, Distill is about making alcohol drink where you collect the ingredients you want, and the unique mechanics that I love the most about it is that you push your luck. So you create the ingredients, you shovel together, and then you discard the ingredients randomly, and then that's what you make. Yes. With cocktails, you add a way of scoring where this is very competitive. So the first one that achieve certain objectives, you grab the points and no one else can get it. So there are a few of those, and you place your disc also in the central map. When you do something, you put it in the central map, and then you gain the bonus. And these new additions bring a little bit more competitiveness and interaction in the game. Taryn has not played that.
I have not.
Yeah.
But I have played the next one, which is Nature. So this is an evolution for the new era. It's not it is effectively a more streamlined re-implementation of the Evolution series, which has been out over more than a decade now.
So I think you'll be able to purchase Nature, and this is it's more simplified because the cards that you play, a lot of them are the same, so it's not like in a boring way or anything like that. But
yeah, it doesn't have quite so much tableau of intricate effects to keep track of, and that's where it becomes more streamlined.
Yes, but it has modules that you can add to the game if you are wanting to have different experience and different style of the game. So that's kind of like hits a sweet spot, or you want to just start with this and then you can add these things after one. The third game is Transgalactica.
Yep, this is a big new Euro release from Devia. This is a lead and follow type of action selection game, and it's got a lot of what you're doing is moving up on tracks to unlock access to better objectives or better technologies. There's a couple of things in there. It's a Daniela Tascini game, and there's a couple of things in there which will remind you of Teotihuacan a little bit, but with lead and follow action selection instead of rondel.
If you like track advancements, the action selection with follow, which is really unique, and you're probably going to like Transgalactica with a bit of an engine building as well. The next game is Positano. This is going to be, I believe, Gen Con release, available to purchase. This is by Slugfest Games, who usually brings out or still do Red Dragon Inn series. But this is 3D tile placement with bidding.
Yeah, it's a tight turn order bidding game, so you're going to be laying down cards, which are single-use cards for the game, which will determine your place in turn order for 3 separate things, which are choosing where on a grid you're going to build your towers, choosing how many blocks you gain to build those towers from, and choosing what quality of tower you're going to build on that turn. So you've got to work out what's most important to you at given times, and then it it becomes aggressive because you can build a tower, but you score the most points if it has a seafront view.
Yeah.
So if someone just builds a tower up in front of yours, that will then impact your value to score.
The real estate war. So we come to the last game we're going to talk about in this video that we have played.
Yes, which is Quorum. This is a small box game from Devia. This is a, I guess you would call it, I think of it as a three-way area control scoring type of thing. So you are gaining cards into a tableau, and those will score based on their colours, but how much they score is based on who is leading and second and third on a track of the same colour, and the overall value of whether players have pushed that track up or down. So it's like when you have those three things interacting.
Yeah.
Small package, but some intriguing decisions to be made.
Very. And the drafting is also interesting, I think.
Yes.
With, certain cards that you want to grab, and then it'll give you some benefit, but then will have some slight disadvantage for your game moving forward from there. Yes. So those last 5 games are the games that we have played or demoed. Like the first one we just demoed, I just demoed, and would recommend it to demo and then check it out and then get if you want. And those are the games. Please let us know what games are you looking forward to demo and play at Gen Con, and if you see me, please do say hello, and I will pass on your hello to Taryn. I'm a hugger as well, so I would hug, and I would hug back to Taryn. So I'll hug Taryn. So you hug me and then hug that person back. Hug. See, Taryn hugged me for Gen Con. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you there or not. Have a great day. See you again. Bye.